Assalamualaikum guys, how are you? सिर्फ आई थिंक हाइपोथेसिस का एलिमेंट रह गया था, तो वी हैव टू डिस्कस के हाउ वी आर सपोज टू फॉर्म हाइपोथेसिस. Hypotheses by definition are hypothetical statements. When we conduct a literature review, we identify certain elements or certain problems. Those problems are something which we need to do in the entire research. We need to solve those problems or we need to answer certain research questions. Research questions can be complex, they can be simple, but usually they revolve around certain measurable things. For example, to understand if gender plays a role in income or if gender plays a role in getting better grades. एक simpler example आपको दे रहा हूँ यहाँ. Another common way of a research question or a research objective is to understand if oil prices have a significant impact on let's say dollar rates, or if vice versa dollar rates have a significant impact on oil prices. Maybe if we need to understand the impact or effect of COVID on students. आजकल कोविड का बड़ा इशू चल रहा है, तो काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स को प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं. स्टूडेंट्स कंप्लेंट्स भी कर रहे हैं कि दे आर हैविंग इश्यूज व्हेन दे आर ट्राइंग टू स्टडी और इन रेफरेंस टू देयर education or the university work. So maybe a person would like to conduct a research on how or what factors are affecting students. Okay, so these are usually the research problems or kind of research problems which the person would like to solve or try to answer. So keeping your research problem and your objectives and research questions in mind, you tend to come up with hypotheses. To form an hypothesis, it is important to know research analysis techniques or analysis methods. If you don't have the knowledge or the concepts here, it is very difficult to basically understand what kind of hypothesis you can form. At a bachelor's level, you are usually doing two things: either understanding cause and effect, the impact of one variable on another variable, or you are trying to understand a comparison. Matlab, do male students get better marks or female students get better marks? Okay, so I will just touch these two examples and try to conclude this video in like 5 to 8 minutes. If we talk about impact or effect, we would like to see the effect of one variable on another variable. Effect of COVID crisis or coronavirus on students' satisfaction. Effect of coronavirus on students' performance in general. Okay, so a hypothesis would sound something like this: COVID crisis has a significant effect on students' performance. COVID crisis have a significant impact on students' welfare or well-being or psychological situation or students' performance or whatsoever. So the term which we normally use, independent variable has a significant impact on the dependent variable. This is the technical term of how we form an hypothesis. When we talk about comparison, we are usually talking about two variables in which one is the dependent variable and one is a comparative or a comparison variable. For example, if we talk about GPA, we can say to see if there's a difference in GPA between genders. Girls say they perform better than boys, boys say they perform better than girls. So we can compare here कि ज़्यादा GPA किसकी आती हैं. तो GPA can be one variable and gender can be another variable. The only different concept here is कि gender tends to be a grouping variable. Okay, gender is a variable, उसके अंदर पे groups आते हैं male and female. They can be a third there where you are confused, but normally there are two groups here. So gender is one variable where male and female are two groups within the variable, and GPA is a variable. So we are comparing GPA with gender where we are comparing the two genders. So this is a different form of hypothesis. So the terminology here would normally be there is a significant difference in the GPA of both genders, or the null hypothesis would be that there is no significant difference between there's no significant difference in the GPA of two genders, male or female. So this is how you would normally word these things. When you're talking about impact or cause and effect, normally in the simplest form, we go for a simple linear regression or a multilinear regression, or for a more complex version, we can go for a structural equation modeling or some similar techniques. Your supervisors can help you identify the right technique there. And when we're talking about comparison, depending on the population or the groups we have, we can go for t-test, Hodling t-test, ANOVA, MANOVA, ANCOVA. There are many different techniques here. Because this is a basic hypothesis formation video, we cannot go into detail on the different type of analysis techniques. But if you want, you can let me know and we can go into a lot of details. So we can talk about different techniques, we can talk about how we can go for the analysis, we can even conduct the analysis. We can use PLS, we can use SPSS, we can use SPSMOS, EViews, anything you want, okay?